Welcome here to Memorial Park for the Central League fixture between Petone Football Club and Miramar Football Club. Petone in blue and Miramar in white.
Just before we get underway, I just want to give you the team lineups and introduce our commentators for the day. Welcome to this Central League Round 6 match. The teams today, Miramar, in goal for Miramar, Jack de Groot, number 4, Luke Searle, 5, Liam Wood, 10, Sebastian Barton Ginger, 12, Andrew Bevan, 15, Andrenic Kinamagan, 20, Bradley Whitworth, number 24, John T. Bruce, and 13, Scott Midgley, and number 6, Joe Harris. For Petone today, we have in goal number 1, Oscar Boyce, 3, Sean Matthews, 4, Bryn Sinclair, number 5, Kieran McMinn, captain number 10, Sam Pickering, 11, Scott Jaeger Greenfield, 17, Ashnavi Mustafa, 18, Billy Check, 19, Cameron Healy, 23, Matt Brazier, and 24, Jack O'Connor. On the bench for Petone, number 8, Amir Maldwali, 12, Oliver Pickering, 15, Seth Loughran, 16, Jared Eglinton, and 21, Aidan Rodriguez, with Petone coach Ryan Edwards. So I'm going to introduce, just before kick-off, we have two new first-time commentators this year. We've got Connor Bliss, and we've lucky to have Paddy Gower on football. Over to you, boys.
Thank you very much, Matt Bliss, Chairman of Petone Football Club. So getting underway here. Welcome, Paddy. Good to have you here.
It is an honour to be here, commentating my first Petone match. Obviously, I've been a broadcaster for 15 years, various levels in New Zealand, but not in the sports arena. So a real honour to make my sports debut here. Thank you to my employers at TV3 for releasing me on loan to the Petone Football Club, and we're underway out there. Connor Bliss, Petone making a strong start, as we see Miramar on a slight charge now. Back to you, Connor.
Yeah, no, it is a beautiful day here at Memorial Park. Is on the far side. Miramar gets a great start. Looking to recycle back into the middle now, and a pop shot, first time on the bounce. That one's gone over to the number 2 pitch. And
what a day to be commentating. Absolutely beautiful here in Awakarangi Hutt Valley. Not a cloud in the sky. Nearly as blue up in the sky there as the jerseys of this famous football club, celebrating 125 years today. What a day to be commentating. What a day to be playing football. 125 years, the oldest club in Wellington. I believe one of the oldest clubs in New Zealand. One of the oldest clubs really in the world. And such a proud moment for us to be commentating here, Connor.
Yep, no, it's a great day for the club. We just had a cake cutting inside where the president and many of the club members gathered together and celebrated the 125th birthday, which is in fact tomorrow, the 30th of this month.
Here we go. Strong move from Petone now. And onto the left foot, looking for Ashnavi Mustafa out there. Very dangerous. Not quite reaching him. And now we have Jagger Scott Greenfield playing strongly there. Ball just surrendered for now to Miramar. But Petone's famous defence surely to come into play here. And yes, it does. The ball rescued. No surprise there, actually. That stopper at the back. Been playing well all season. And here they go. Just that calmness that Petone's known for from the back. Very senior members of the side. Coming out now to Jagger Scott Greenfield. Getting it away to Ashnavi. This young man, unstoppable this season so far. And there we go. Sam Pickering, our captain. Not quite finding his man there. He'll get that radar back on. That famous Pickering radar, of course, the Pickering family. Hard to talk about Petone football for long before that name comes into action. Generation after generation of the Pickering family providing us here with great players, coaches, and club people like Sue Pickering, who's just in front of me right now, one of our life members. So you can't actually say a bad word about Pickerings when you commentate because they're always around, which is a strong point.
Miramar recycling with Wood on the ball now. Mature centre back. He passes to his mate, number 6. We'll have to figure out his name very quickly. Harris, that is. Back to the keeper, De Groot, who knocks it forward. That one ends up in a throw for Petone. It'll be Scott Grenfield to throw this one back in, finding his midfielder, dropping in. Pickering loses the ball there on the bounce, but trying to backtrack. Miramar now working it with Bevan on the right. He tries to throw it inside, but doesn't get fast past the first line of defence. Ending up in a corner. The keeper runs it out. Keeper today for Petone, Oscar Boyce.
Oscar Boyce, new to the club this season after an injury to our regular keeper, Shea Stapleton. But Boyce, with that highly original nickname, Boise, that he's been given.
Boise, that's it. If only we had the on-pitch mics, you'd definitely be hearing that one. Ball on hand, but here it comes, recycling back across the back line for Petone. You do love to see it. They're confident in their ground passing. Looking to drop in short. McMinn, but couldn't get the accurate pass to him. Now here's Bevan for Miramar. Whiteworth plays it into number 13. Spreads it to the left-hand side. Barton Ginger on the left, couldn't beat his man, and that goes up for a throw-in for his side.
Perhaps a chance to recount some of the history of this famous club, formed in 1898. The Petone Football Club, 125 years tomorrow. So 124 years and 364 days young right now, the Petone Club. Isn't that a fantastic date? And of course, 50 years tomorrow of women's football here at the club as well. One of the greatest clubs in the world, in my opinion. Look at that. Oscar Boyce, safe as a Petone villa. Safe as a Petone villa that has been there for 130 odd years or more. Safe as a Petone villa, isn't he?
Yeah, grown on the swamps, old swamplands. But I tell you what, they work a treat to breed footballers. Miramar now trying to find a way through the blue wall. And it's bouncing around the 18-yard box. It's now with Mason Smith. He passes it to his left-hand side. Barton Ginger. His cross doesn't beat the first man.
Miramar failing to break the Petone foreshore. Much like the foreshore with a southerly on it, at the defensive line of Petone, you don't really want to be there. You can't get past it. There's no point. It's a bit like being down on the foreshore on a windy day. Why would you want to be there? And I think Miramar are finding that right now very uncomfortable, isn't it, with the Petone defensive line? Very, very uncomfortable for Miramar right now.
As the Miramar man whips it in, again doesn't beat the first man, becoming a common theme in their crosses. Here comes Petone now, using the left side. Number 17, Mustafa. He plays it forward. Scott Grenfield trying to do some work, but gets caught out on the halfway line. A forward ball from Whiteworth. And the whistle goes, a very stern whistle from our man in pink today.
Yeah, we've got viewers from all around the world. Australia, the United Kingdom, Palmerston North even. New Zealand's premier city, and a lot of viewers and listeners in Palmerston North. That's one of the things about this club. we do have supporters outside of our immediate area, all around the world, including Palmy, that great city. Not a lot on there, obviously, today, if they're tuning into the YouTube, but they will be tuning in and seeing what good weather looks like as well. Not just good football, good weather. As we look at Miramar now with the penalty there from outside the box, about to take it. And just that blue wall again, packing in. Oh. No, and the ref's blowing that up.
Yep, I think there was some contact there just in front of the 6-yard line on the run backwards. And referee did see it, and it's going to be a free kick to Petone.
And a chance just to kick it up. Just to kick it upfield, a bit like the Christmas parade going up Jackson Street every year. So just that's what they've really got to do, is just think that you've got Santa on the float and just get it up the other end of Jackson Street. That would probably be what the coach is asking for right now.
And they have gained some territory here, Paddy. They have got it on the other side of the halfway line, and in fact won it back in a forward press. Petone will want to play the ball in the attacking third naturally, as any team would. And that's Midgley getting involved there for Miramar, hitting the deck, but
hitting the deck, hitting the deck after a collision with Sean Matthews, known around the club as Grandad, but there was nothing granddadish about that, was there? There was nothing granddadish about that collision whatsoever from Sean Matthews. Sean Matthews, of course, one of our imports in a certain sense, coming originally from the United Kingdom, working in recruitment at the moment and just trying to recruit the ball at the moment, isn't he? Works in recruitment as a job, but trying to recruit the ball for Petone. He, of course, has played for Portsmouth and Chichester, Petone, which is here in New Zealand, and Wellington United, but loving the environment here in Petone at the Petone Football Club. And just as the blue wall continues to kick into action here, much like the Hutt River on a rainy day, it just sort of gets bigger and stronger. The more that they put the ball into our defensive line, it grows like the Hutt River on a rainy day. And just need to get the ball upstream would really be what I'd be thinking. It is going a little downstream at the moment. A chance to talk a bit about the history of the club. Chatham Cup winners, that's New Zealand's FA Cup. So New Zealand's FA Cup has been held here. Admittedly, it's been a little while, 1928, 1930 and 1949, but New Zealand's FA Cup has been held by this club. Not for a while. In fact, my dad was born in 1949, so, it's a long time ago, but it has been held here in the Central League, which is actually the Central League, which is really New Zealand's version of the Premier League, isn't it? 1990. We were winners of that, and Capital Premier, which is the actual Premier League, 2006, 2007. So probably one of the more successful clubs on planet Earth, the Petone Football Club.
I'll tell you what, folks, Paddy Gower knows his stuff. We're in fact watching a Central League fixture where Petone is 7th in the league, Miramar are 4th. And looking at the table here, goals for, Petone have scored 2 more goals than Miramar. So obviously, both attacking sides, it's Petone's defence that has been, I guess, letting them down, if to put it lightly. But here to really gain some momentum this season, as this is the 6th game. So we are heading deep into mid-season, really. As McMinn signals to the bench, I think he wants a juice or something next out, or
yeah, McMinn signalling to the bench, but not to come off. The man is an absolute warrior. In fact, strength and conditioning is his mantra, not just on the pitch, but he actually works in it. He works in strength and conditioning. This is a person who knows his own body, knows most of the Petone bodies very well, and very well.
He does. I've heard he runs the boys ragged. He does the pre-season strength and conditioning for the club, I believe. McMinn, number 5. He plays in the midfield for Petone. There he is. He's a broad young man, and he'll be looking to really get on the opposition's first touch today and let them know his presence, as they say. As it massages around with Harris, and now with the Miramar centre back Wood. He plays it forward, tries to find Bevan, but gets caught up by Petone. Here they come now. And Healy plays a forward pass. And what a goal, Petone!
Wow!
That is number 22.
What an absolute goal at Memorial Park. Sid, fantastic memories into Petone. One of the greatest goals ever to be scored at Memorial Park in 125 years of goal scoring here. 125 years of goal scoring, but that probably is the best goal, or up there with the best scored. And of course it was scored by Matt Brazier. He scored a number of goals this season, affectionately known around the club as Braz or Big Bag even, one of those original games. And Big Bag, the man they call Big Bag, has bagged another goal for the Blues on a day and puts Petone up to 1-0. Thank you very much. Another goal in that big bag of Matthew Brazier's.
That was a wonderful composed strike. It was first or second touch, I think. Unfortunately, we don't have replays, but you yourself at home can rewind that one and have a look. The left foot finish, bottom right, it was really well composed and gets Petone 1-0 up after 15 minutes here at Memorial Park. It's a great start for Petone here on this celebratory day for the club. Paddy Gower, how good, how good.
Well, it was a fantastic goal, and considering the run of play had been down the other end of the field, Miramar had made all of the play. That will be extremely frustrating, and it looks now Petone up by 1 on Memorial Park. Huge number of supporters here on this beautiful day. History's on our side. Play is now on our side. The score is now on our side. Let's see what can happen from here.
Here we go as Miramar take a long free kick, and it's ended up in the right on the byline. Good defence there from, I think that was McMinn. Working back. No, it couldn't have been. Matthews doing some good work. Sean Matthews, number 3 for Petone, playing in that back line. Whitworth going now over to take that corner on the far side. An in-swinger on the Merge Communications end here at Memorial Park. You see the banners up. Some good height reached by Boyce for Petone, and he has that one safe in his mitts. He rolls that one out to Pickering, captain of Petone, on the left-back position at the moment. Some nice passing, but can't get quite out of that white circle they were in. Miramar looks to get it back, but won again by Petone. McMinn plays it inside. Can't make it through, and now Whiteworth.
Now a chance to thank our sponsors, Sprig and Fern, Petone, a pub that has been around nearly as long as the club itself. Many, many, many years, isn't it? A pub where people have found happy times and food and craft beer and enjoyment over many, many years. And of course, somebody else who's been around Petone and the Hutt Valley for a long, long time, Des Smith from Ray White Petone. If you ever need to buy a Petone villa or a Petone townhouse, either or, Des is obviously your man.
Petone trying to work it out of their defensive half now, but Miramar keep winning it back and forcing them to really work. The throw-in now on the far side. And some contacts, but one in the end by Andrew Bevan. Miramar left midfielder. Wins a throw-in for his team. Luke Searle to take the throw-in.
And of course, it would not be a day of football at Petone Football Club if it wasn't for all the mums that come out and support the boys and the girls. Literally the backbone of the club in so many ways. So almost, if not more important than sponsors, coaches, chairmen. And here we go, Petone making a move just down the right. Oh, Ashnavi just getting ahead of the ball there. Could have been 2-0. And listen to the roar of the crowd. Listen to the roar of the crowd at the well and truly at the supporters' end. Every end actually in Petone is the supporters' end, isn't it? The home end. But that is the crowd. The incredible support here.
It's the Englishman Whitworth who gets the yellow card. And Miramar now making a forward press on the right side, but a big touch from Rubos and a good defensive work there from Matthews.
Yes, the man they call Grandad, just showing that defensive maturity of a grandfather at the back there, that defensive maturity that he's so well known for around the club, Grandad Matthews.
Bevan plays it back and whipped in by Harris. No good though. Here comes Petone trying to massage it forward.
Cameron Healy with that masseuse in midfield, that midfield masseuse there, isn't he, really? A chance now to talk about Matt Brazier, the goal scorer. Obviously played some football in Australia and all around, and he just loves making the net ripple, in his words, making the net ripple with a goal. And didn't he make it ripple earlier? Speaking of ripple, Ashnavi Mustafa there, just moving the ball around. Just moving the ball around. Let's have a look. Here we go, Petone ball again.
It'll be Scott Greenfield to bring it back into play. And McMinn looked to plan it inside, but Healy just had a bit too much distance on that pass to really make something work for Petone, but some good forward press, and it forces some awkward play for Miramar. They're going to have a goal kick now, but some positive stuff for Petone. 1-0 up after 20 minutes.
Petone, the home of the 40-hour working week in New Zealand history, Samuel Parnell. Just for a little bit of history for you. And they're pretty much doing 40 hours of work out there just early in this half of football. The working men of Petone working away out there, just like the history of this wonderful, wonderful suburb.
Mustafa getting an interception there, and I think getting possession back for his team and a throw-in.
Just a fantastic young player, the number 17. So dangerous out there all season. Down the side, and there he goes again, Ashnavi Mustafa. Look at him, unstoppable. What a ball from Mustafa. Here we go.
Brazier now the goal scorer.
Brazier, and now looking back, and a strike. Oh.
A strike from Scott Greenfield with his right foot, preferred right foot, but it doesn't get past the defender. He puts his noggin on it, always a bit worrying, naturally, but good defense. But here we go, Brazier now with his right foot, and he scores his second. It's a left foot, right foot goal day for him. He gets his brace. Petone 2-0 up, 22 minutes gone, and the balcony goes wild.
The balcony goes absolutely nuts in Petone. 2-0. 2-0 with Matthew Brazier scoring the second sensational goal. 2-0 to Petone on the eve of the 125-year anniversary. Matthew Brazier, the man they call Big Bag, 2 in the bag for Brazier on this day, on this great day to be blue.
Yep, a bit of luck in that workout, but it ended up in the feet of Brazier. He was in an onside position on the 18-yard box, and well, it was him versus the keeper. He looked him in the eye, and he put it bottom left. It was such a tidy finish. He's so composed after those two chances we've seen him take. Paddy has been really good.
Yeah, and as we said, he loves making the net ripple, does Matthew Brazier. That's what he loves to do, and he didn't just make it ripple, he nearly ripped the thing open. As we just have Miramar looking dangerous, but we were talking about Matthew Brazier, who makes us so excited here. He had the crowd on his feet. Matthew Brazier puts Petone out to 2-0. It's almost time, sadly, to say Miramar looking in deep, deep danger here. It's a big call, but it's a big day. So it's a day.
Yep, as we just surpass the first quarter of this football match. I mean, I think if you look at the stats, she's pretty even out there in possession and even shots. It's just Petone have had such clinical chances, and they've put them away. One man's the difference.
Petone just moving the ball around on the right there, just moving it around. Memorial Park, of course, named as a memorial to New Zealand's fallen in the 2 world wars and other wars after that. A great place for memories, a great place for history. And just a little nugget of history about the club. 1979, a very auspicious day in the history of the Petone Football Club. That was when the first floodlights were put in here. One of the first clubs in New Zealand to be able to train under lights all the way back in 1979. Just showing a club that can progress with technology over time. Obviously back then there was no Google, no Facebook. There was not much. And now here we are commentating on YouTube all these years later. But 1979 was when the floodlights came in. Brazier again. Matthew Brazier again on the break. So dangerous today. He wants to be part of history very clearly. He may already be, but looking for a hat trick with only about quarter of the game gone, just over a quarter of the game gone. Brazier, that big bag of his, plenty of room for more goals in there, isn't there?
That's brilliant. Yeah, it was a through ball from McMinn. Fantastic from him, his vision. And going back to what you were saying, Paddy, that one of the first clubs in New Zealand to install floodlights to the training facilities and pitch, obviously. Petone producing a couple of all whites through that, surely with high quality training facilities as we do now. James Bannatyne and Andrew Barron, two Petone footballers who made it to the, I guess, top level international football. How fantastic's that?
It's incredible, and that's what happens with a progressive club like we have now. As I said, 1898, this club was formed. But for those sort of history spotters out there who might be saying, look, it was actually a little bit earlier than that. Yes, of course, we know that. It was actually 1889, 9 years earlier than that, the Petone Wanderers were started. So if you take that into account, it's an incredibly old club, even more older than we believe. It's basically been around here since European settlers brought the game of football to New Zealand. It was pretty much here since Petone was settled by Europeans. As soon as the game could get to these parts, the game began here at this club, which is quite phenomenal. Connor Bliss.
It really is. It really is. And, yeah, very well said. There's an offsides called on Jonty Rubos. Forward play for Miramar. Long ball. And, my goodness me, his touch is fantastic today. Look at that, Paddy.
just beautiful to watch Brazier, his confidence at an all-time high. He is as hot as a curry from Maharajas right now. The hottest curry in Petone history. There you go. So Matt Brazier by name, Brazier by nature, actually. He is on fire today.
Way to get around that one is I asked for Kiwi mild. They treat me well with that, yeah. As attack comes through for Miramar on the left side, a fantastic ball, but Migley couldn't really do much with it. I mean, it was an attempted super shot. He did make connection, but it's out for a throw-in, I believe.
A chance now to talk about the fantastic crowd here. Hundreds of people have come out today. For people who are tuning in right now from around the world, looking at the weather outside, it's pretty much like this all the time here on what is a Riviera, really. A Riviera of sorts near the Hutt River. It's pretty much like this all the time. In fact, you know, it's probably a little more chilly today, isn't it, Connor, than usual? That's why you'll see some people, you know, not in their singlets and shorts.
Yeah, for sure. As Harris has a great progressive play down the right side, but caught by Boyson on his near post. He distributes that one forward, and a strong header one. That was Searle. Petone now making a switch play. It's McMinn who slows it down and composes the Petone side. They reset. Pickering. Scott Greenfield. Lost out by Petone, and here comes Miramar. It's Rubos. A fantastic run by Rubos, and some scrambling defence from Petone ends up being a corner for Miramar.
The blue wall of Petone, so strong right now, isn't it? So strong right now. Like we said, like the foreshore in a southerly. Just an incredibly inhospitable place to be. And that really is what the Petone blue wall of defence has been today. Here come Miramar, and over the top. The pressure, clearly the blue wall telling, and miscuing by the looks of things there. Not a bad shot, but surrendering the ball to Petone, and Boise to clear.
Tell you what, he got some velocity behind that header, but just over the crossbar. As Boyce will knock this one forward. Reaching over the halfway line. Petone looked to keep possession, but just quite can't. As a cross ball from Whitworth.
The matchday sponsors, Spring and Fern Petone, one of the most hospitable places. We talked about the inhospitability. We talked about the inhospitability of the foreshore earlier in a southerly. Nothing inhospitable though about the Spring and Fern in Petone. One of the warmest, kindest places for you to get away from it all and relax with friends and family. The Spring and Fern in Petone, and wonderful, loyal sponsors of the club. Walking in now to the hospitality box, I guess, where they are. The corporate box for some corporate hospitality. It won't rival what the kind of hospitality they give, though, down at the Spring and Fern.
No, they provide a very warm experience. They have a great outdoor area. They provide blankets and outdoor heating. It is a fantastic venue. Great pub quiz they run there as well. Spring and Fern on Jackson Street. If you are in the area, definitely do get down there for a pint.
A chance now to perhaps talk about the style of football that Petone are playing as implemented by Director of Football and Head Coach Ryan Edwards. Petone ball, or hashtag Petone ball, a very pure kind of football, isn't it? It's a very pure kind of football, and for those not familiar with Petone, of course Petone does have an artesian water supply that comes straight from an aquifer beneath Petone, linked to the Hutt River Awakairangi, some of the most pure water in New Zealand, if not the world. And this pure style of football really quite like as Ashnavi Mustafa.
Fantastic
Ashnavi Mustafa scores the most amazing goal. Ashnavi Mustafa has just scored the most amazing goal you will see. He has been so dangerous down the left all season, so dangerous down the left all year.
What a fantastic goal from Mustafa. A right foot curling shot from outside the 18-yard box, and he beats the Miramar goalkeeper, Jack de Groot. That's fair enough. We all have our secret favourites, Paddy. As Miramar get us started again, my goodness. Petone now with a lead that is really becoming quite comfortable here. 35 minutes just about played. (3-0) Petone.
No, you're not sure, you've done some good comments. Yeah, obviously some great football out there today, and to bring up another Petone landmark, the Lighthouse Cinema. The Lighthouse Cinema, one of the sponsors of the club as well, actually, the Lighthouse Cinema in Petone. And Petone football lighting up with movie stars on the pitch. Movie star blockbuster football. Much like what you would see at the Lighthouse Cinema, one of Petone's great landmarks. Somebody has truly turned on the lights out there. A fantastic game to watch. Why almost self-defeating sponsoring the club, isn't it? Because why would you go to the movies when you can come down here and watch this fantastic entertainment for free?
Fantastic entertainment indeed, as a free kick has been awarded to Miramar about 21 yards out, pretty much right in front, as Barton Ginger tries to use his left foot to kill that one in, but no good on the Merge Communications end. That one goes just wide of the frame. 10 minutes left of this half, and Petone with a convincing lead. They'll be pretty happy with the performance. As the ball's knocked into halfway into the mixer. Petone now with Healy. Played on the far side. Bit of a scramble, but looks like it's gone Miramar's way as they look to spread the ball into the right side. There it is there.
And a chance now to talk a bit about the goal scorer there, Ashnavi Mustafa. Previously coming across from the North Wellington club, but really finding a home here at Petone football like so many of these guys. Big fan, would you believe, of Brazilian music, and his favourite food, Cocoa Pops and Nutella. Probably not recommended for nutrition, but look, after a goal like that, as far as I'm concerned, the young number 17 can eat as much Nutella and Cocoa Pops as he wants. He will be eating Cocoa Pops for free, I think, around Petone for the rest of his life after that goal.
Everyone deserves a bit of a treat post game. Definitely well deserved. My goodness, what a right foot effort that was to get Petone their third goal. As Oscar Boyce comes well off his line to do some defensive work.
Oscar Boyce was nearly in Miramar's half right then, and a chance to talk about Miramar, of course, another suburb in Wellington, a bit like Petone, but no real similarities. Not a lot of history, as Boyce just controls the ball there, just a stopper, just holding play, they know halftime is coming. But Miramar, another suburb, I wouldn't call them a rival suburb. They're close to the airport. That's about all I know about them.
Pretty much as further away as you can get in the Wellington region from Petone. I mean, unless you go over to the Wainui Amata. But yeah, very, very friendly relationship we've always had with Miramar. The chairman's in my ear at the moment saying, yep, it's always been a friendly relationship and always been welcome here at Petone.
Yeah, one of the perils, isn't it, of commentating so close to the chairman that the chair, Matt Bliss, is able to have input really in the commentary, and he deserves it. He works hard. He does a lot for the club. So, all input welcome. But always one of those rules of commentating, try and get as far from the chairman as you can in future.
Yep, the chairman, president, yep, that's pretty much the story. No, we are pretty relaxed here on the balcony here at Memorial Park. As McMinn now on the ball for Petone, giving that to Mustafa. Now with Scott Greenfield, he gives it to Pickering now, the captain. Spreads it wide on the far side. Sinclair. Miramar now winning the ball on the halfway line and moving forward quickly. A good ball now left by Bevan. He looks to go more left, and it ends up being a corner kick earned by Barton Ginger. Well done from him.
Barton Ginger having a strong game for Miramar. The captain, I believe. As Petone looks just to hold them out as they head towards half-time. Obviously would want to be going into those sheds. 3-0 up. Here come Miramar, though. The question. Miramar about to ask the question, I think, of Petone. Petone looking like they've got all the answers, though, as they continue to press and try and shift the ball out of there. Pickering, the captain fantastic, the veteran. And as a Petone player is down, chance to talk about Samuel Pickering, the captain of Petone. Also the director of youth football here, a true club person, obviously with one of the most famous names in Petone football history, continuing on the commitment of the Pickering family to the club and skippering the top side in that holding midfielder role. A true leader in every sense of the word. Blue blood, I'm sure, would bleed from Samuel Pickering and all Pickerings. Blue blood would bleed from them, Connor Bliss.
He definitely has a lot of leadership in this squad, in the changing rooms and on the sheds and out on the pitch, sorry. As he leads a team chat with 5 minutes to go in the half. I'm sure to just lock this half out. Really finish this half strong.
Yeah, you don't have to be a genius to know what Samuel Pickering was telling the boys right there, and he would have been saying, hold on, halftime is coming. Do not let Miramar get through. Do not let them penetrate our blue wall.
As Matthews rejoins us after that, I think it was a head knock. He just got a quick check by Barnaby, the Hut physio, who was the Petone physio today. As a switch ball, a fantastic switch ball was played by Miramar. They come in on the left side as he can't beat the first man. It's now with Searle. Played inside to Whitworth. He gives it to Harris. And it rolls out for a goal kick for Petone.
And a chance to talk further about the Pickering family. For those who are not familiar, Sam, of course, the son of Barry Pickering, one of the true greats of Petone and Wellington football. Recently made a life member, actually, Barry Pickering, of Capital Football, long-time life member of Petone Football Club. I think from memory, Barry Pickering was ball boy in the first game in 1898 before proceeding to play for Petone for almost 100 years. Was Barry's career 100 years of playing? Something like that. But no, all jokes aside, Barry Pickering, one of the true stalwarts, a stalwart in every sense of the word, in fact the definition of stalwart, but even managed to fit in his long career 28 odd games for Miramar. So he'll have a little bit of his heart on the side of the team in white today.
As Petone now moves forward into the attacking third, but an interception right at the crucial moment for Whitworth. He is a English import for Miramar this season and really making a difference in this game, I think, as he gets possession back for his side. And now I think we've got a throw in on halfway.
A public announcement by the chairman right now. A black car with its alarm going off all half, apparently. All half.
That's unbelievable.
Down the end of the Miramar goalie. So I hope there's no nefarious Petone supporter deliberately setting off the alarm down there. It does happen to be down the end of the Miramar goalie. It would be incredibly frustrating.
As the Miramar keeper, De Groot, knocks that one over halfway. And now Miramar on the right side starts to move forward, and Nigley, he gives it to Rubos. Miramar massaging the ball across their back line as they pass it to Harris on the right side.
I do want to say, I don't know if they were quite massaging the ball there as sort of just bashing the thing around a little bit. Petone certainly a lot softer on the ball today as they start to bat it away. And no surprise there's Sam Pickering getting the ball downtown, right down the other end of Jackson Street, right down, for people who know Jackson Street well, right down the pack and save end of Jackson Street, effectively where he needs to get the ball. Samuel Pickering knows where it needs to go.
I guess I like to think of it, football as a beautiful game, so I describe it as such thing, you know. Who doesn't love a good massage? As Petone look to get things going to finish this first half off. The referee's got to be looking at his watch as 45 minutes is shown on the scoreboard, sponsored by Sign Foundry, that scoreboard, the local signage master, nationwide in fact, Sign Foundry. As Harris looks to whip that one in on the merged communication end, but nothing comes of it. It's Petone now with the ball on the right side. Scott Greenfield. He plays that one back across the back line with Sinclair. Good forward run by the youngster, Billy Check, I believe.
And now into referees' time in this very historic province. Now just to really cast back Māori pa, Māori civilization here for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years in Petone, our true and official name. History dating back a long time. Europeans, of course, coming here in 1840 on the ship Aurora, and bringing the football into the country in 1840.
Some fantastic little bit of a football action going on right in front of us, but
Jagger Scott Greenfield showing some fantastic football and footwork actually from Greenfield. Scott Greenfield there, just showing a nice touch and also a nice mullet or mullet out the back of his head there as well. And Scott Greenfield, speak of the devil, just getting the ball out of there as well. A bit like a mullet or a mud flap at the back. They're just preventing anything from getting past. Fantastic work by the young man.
My goodness, how long will this half last? The referee does look at his watch. I saw him there, the man in pink. As Miramar looks to snag one just before the break. It's an effort from the 18-yard box, but no luck. And there it is. There it is, Paddy. It's half-time here at Memorial Park, and Petone are up 3-0.
What an amazing half of football. 3-0 to Petone on this auspicious day, the eve of the 125-year history. And look at the players come in. You can see them there, happy, ready to take this one out. If there was ever a day to win a game, it is today.
Fantastic half for Petone Football Club with 2 goals from the big bag, Matthew Brazer, and a goal from Ashton Navi Mustafa with his right foot effort, the curling effort that hit the side netting to make it 3-0 to Petone. Another thanks to our sponsors, Des Smith, Ray White, Petone, the Kimmy brothers. If you've got any interest in selling or buying a house in the Hutt Valley, Des Smith, the man to head up. And game brought to you by our matchday sponsor, Sprig and Fern. Sprig and Fern Petone, your local watering hole. And for our sponsors, man of the match, send your vote to Matt on +64 21 718 592. And yeah, place your vote in for man of the match. It can be the number of the player's shirt, or if you know the name, then it can be the name as well.
And if you're in the Petone or Wellington region, not too late to come down and watch the second half of football and come up here to the club rooms and meet some of the players afterwards, meet some of the commentators afterwards potentially. Not too late. If you're at home, tuned in, maybe on the couch, just jump in the car, call an Uber and get down to the club and be part of this occasion. It is not too late for all those people who are out there at home.
It's a pretty relaxed vibe up here in the Memorial Park balcony, just outside the John Bradbury Lounge, a life member of the club.
Yeah. You say the words John Bradbury, and all I can think is hospitality, fun, and football, aren't they? Because that's what the John Bradbury Lounge is to people, one of the most welcoming places on planet Earth. If you're ever looking for somewhere to stay, I mean, you could stay in the John Bradbury Lounge. I think you could live in there, potentially, for a little while at least, before the club sort of decided to get you moving. Just behind us, we can see some of the young ball boys. You won't be able to see this on camera. Some of the young ball boys are here. Another fantastic part of the club spirit here is that the younger players will come and be ball boys for the senior team, and of course getting the free can of drink and chocolate bar at halftime, which really just does keep them nourished and foster the next generation of Petone footballers, doesn't it?
No, I've been playing football for Petone since I was a 4-year-old child, and 25 now, and I remember being a ball boy and getting my bag of chips or chocolate bar and can of Coke at half time. It was always a fantastic day out at Petone, playing football in the morning and then doing that for the club. Fantastic times.
And look how you turned out, Connor. People at home won't be able to see, but we have a serious physical specimen behind us who's growing up on that Petone diet of a can of Coke and some chips at half time. And it is just a great sight to see someone who's so immersed in the culture of the club.
Look, well, Patrick and I will leave you for now for 10 minutes or so, but we'll see you soon here at Memorial Park for the second half of the Central League fixture between Petone FC and Memorial and Miramar.
And here we come back for the second half at Memorial Park. We have obviously Des Smith, Ray White Petone, one of the great sponsors here. Good chance to give him a shout out. Our number one salesperson in the area. And at the moment, Petone doing a sales job on Miramar. Doing an absolute sales job on Miramar. Miramar getting sold out right now as
we get underway indeed with Petone in position to start the second half. 3-0 up against Miramar.
And a chance to say that the floodlights are coming on. And for those who did not catch it earlier, this being one of the first clubs in New Zealand to put these floodlights in back in 1979. And they will start to shine brightly on the Petone Blues. 3-0 up with the 125th birthday of the club to come in the morning. And wouldn't it be great to wake up with a W next to Petone in the Central League of Football of New Zealand?
3 points, 45 minutes away, as if they can keep their 3-goal lead with a forward run by Brazier. He loses out the foot race. And Miramar look to work the ball back up to their attacking half, but
just took a break from the game there for a second to take a selfie of myself and co-commentator Connor Bliss, just to capture the moment of history of commentating on this great game at this great club. You've always got to take time to remember the sense of occasion around you, and that we are really the first draft of history at the moment, as this young Petone team look to put themselves in the history books with a victory today.
yep, no, it's a very fun day here at Petone as Miramar surge forward as about 4 or 5 players go steaming up the football pitch. The ball at Barton Ginger's feet, but it ends up going out for a Petone throw-in in the defensive third. It's going to be the young buck of Billy Chick to throw the ball back in. He's playing right back today for Petone.
Billy Chick, fantastic young player. Was linked with the Wellington Phoenix for a while. Chose to follow the Petone dream instead, actually. And probably one of the best decisions he's ever made, footballing-wise, to come to this fantastic club. Of course, Wellington Phoenix in the A-League, but nowhere near the history of this club, which is 125 years old. The Phoenix, just a young club. Johnny come latelys of football, really, aren't they, compared to the Petone Football Club. And Chick making the decision to come to a club with an actual history rather than just a name.
Yep, he's a man who has gone with his family, really, in the football sense, with his family ties to Petone Football Club. His old man playing for Petone for his stint in his football career.
Billy Chick, and he's really started to check out the Miramar players, hasn't he? They have checked out when they're around Billy Chick. They know they can't get round him by the looks of things. He's really formed a barricade down on that right back position. Billy the Barricade Chick, who has locked up the right side of Petone Football Park, much like the traffic actually around Cuba Street in Petone when school is coming out, when it sort of gets locked up. That's what Chick really has done down the right-hand side there. Locked it up like Cuba Street when school is out and the traffic is busy. That's what Chick's done.
Yeah, he definitely does look confident on that right back position today. As a free kick's been awarded to Miramar. Cameron Healy getting a bit feisty. They're lining it up. It's about 20 yards out, just on the edge of the D. Slightly on the right side. Petone wall has been set, about 5 men in it. It'll be the number 6, Harris, the right back for Miramar to take it, and he hits the post. Unbelievable effort. He goes low and to the left. Takes the wall out of consideration. Hits the post and comes back, and very lucky for Petone to not concede there as play moves forward, and a long shot from the number 12, Andrew Bevan, for Miramar. Safely in Oscar Boyce's hands. He restarts play with a throw. Jeepers, he had his wheat bix this morning. Oscar Boyce had some fizz behind that one.
And a chance now to talk a bit more about the history of this fine club. Now, Petone, very much an area of industry and all different kinds of work, but a lot of them have gone by the wayside. The railway workshops no longer here. The meat company, the Gear Meat Company, no longer here. The Wellington Woolen Manufacturing Company, no longer here. The cigarette factory, the tobacco factory, no longer here. But Griffins, no longer here. But the Petone Football Club, still here, stronger than ever. Stronger than ever. As many other institutions have lost their way to history, Petone today forging its way into a new era, 3-0 up against Miramar, saying we want to be around for another 125 years. Maybe we want to be around for another 250. Maybe we want to bring up 1,000 years as a football club. Seems to be the message emanating from Memorial Park right now.
Definitely notable to comment on that penalty shout that happened a hot minute ago. But the man in pink, he turned his nose up at it. And Miramar still goalless.
I have to give a shout out to the referee today. Fantastic refereeing. Not sure 100% about the watch there, just with that extra time. It was almost like an extra half rather than just a little bit of extra time on the half, but a fantastic referee, and we're so thankful here in the Wellington region in Capital Football to have so many brilliant referees through all our competitions.
My goodness, what a bit of lucky play for Miramar as the ball from the far side is fizzed into the near post, and I think it was a deflection from the Petone player to put it over the crossbar. Bit of luck for Petone, bit of luck for Miramar to get a corner, but it will be Bradley Whitworth, the English import, to whip this one in. The away swinger on the far side in front of the PowerX billboard. It's a good corner, a floating corner, but after a scramble, Petone looked to get it away. It's now with Cameron Healy as he moves forward for Petone. Gets hacked down, and it is called by the man in pink.
Yes, hacked down is right. Hacked down like much of the native bush around here when European settlers arrived to clear the valley. Hacked down without much thinking, without much planning, and a penalty going Petone's way, wasn't it?
I mean, New Zealand was all forestry initially. I mean, there was no such grasses. Grass isn't native to New Zealand. I think I learned that just recently. Grass is not native to New Zealand.
That is a fantastic fact. Grass is not native to New Zealand, but of course it's an artificial pitch out there as well, so it wasn't even really grass. It was a synthetic version of grass. And here comes nothing synthetic about that. That was a real and genuine strike with every fibre of that young man's being. Number 19, Cameron Healy, who's just starting to impose himself on the game a little bit more in the last 20 minutes or so.
Ryan Edwards, the Petone coach, at the edge of his 18-yard box, maybe thinking about some subs for his side to lock down this fixture. 7th place, leading 4th place on the table at the moment, as a forward play for Miramar down the right side as he squares it up to look for the sweaty goal, but well defended by Petone, and a round of applause for that interception by, I think it was Sinclair in the back line there, cleaning up the scraps. Petone composing themselves. but losing out, in fact. Miramar moving forward into the penalty area. Looking to square it up. And Miramar get a goal back here in the 55th minute. It's pretty simple tap in there. It ends up being for the number 13, number 12, Andrew Bevan. Goal scorer 2 weeks in a row now, Andrew Bevan.
Andrew Bevan just pegging one back there for Miramar. 3-1 to Petone. Has been all Miramar, though, hasn't it, this half? Much like it was at the start of the second half. Miramar taking a long time, though, to convert that pressure into a goal, but finally getting there. And this young Petone side now looking to have to hold on and try and keep that 2-goal lead at the very least. And it is a young side, I believe, up to 10 players who are under 20 in the squad used this season, the most in the Central League. Other than the Wellington Phoenix development side that's in the same league. It is a young Petone side in every sense of the word, but today playing with that composure that Director of Football Ryan Edwards has been drumming into them since the day he put his feet on the grass.
It was 2.5 years ago Ryan Edwards joined the Petone setup and he created this brand Petone Ball. It's the brand of football that Petone do play, and it really has inspired this young generation of local footballers to have the presence of mind to have attacking play. But a fantastic goal, to be honest, from the Miramar side. A great cross from Barton Ginger, his second assist in short concession, and a finish from Andrew Bevan, his second goal. The same pairing combining to make it 3-2 here at Memorial Park, really spicing this game up. Jeepers, Paddy.
Boy, oh boy, has Sebastian Barton Ginger spiced the game up or what? The captain fantastic in the front there, combining with Bevan for a blockbuster 2 goals. And all of a sudden, the chill of the Petone air coming down the Hutt Valley has just got a little bit colder, and the crowd just a little bit quieter as the Riviera starts to... We hope the Riviera does not turn into a swamp for us here in Petone.
Definitely testing time now for the management staff and the players, indeed, for Petone, conceding 2 quick goals with just over 30 minutes to play in this game. Brazier trying to do some work to gain possession for Petone in that scramble, but it pops out for Wood as he plays it back to De Groot.
And it looks like Ryan Edwards has made at least one change with Jared Eglinton on the field. Jared Eglinton, who's been having a big season as well. Here he is with the ball right now. Just a nice touch there out to Mustafa on the right now. He's gone a bit quieter than usual, just starting to play the ball calmly and coolly as they look to bring back some control over the game here. Eglinton is on the field. The question is who has come off. That is always a key question. But as is the way of Ryan Edwards, it happened so quickly that I did not notice who Eglinton has come on for.
De Groot clears his lines over halfway and met with the head of Matthews. As Miramar now move forward, that looks pretty borderline offside, and the official does call it on the far side as offside. And Miramar with a bit of life, second wind here in the second half. Good halftime talk by their coaching staff, as they haven't made any changes thus far. As Oscar Boyce gets us started once more. Petone now moving forward. And it's a fantastic ball to Brazier, but offside called by the near side official.
It was the ball of the day in some senses, and again, dangerous Brazier. He has been on fire, but it's time to potentially light the fire under Brazier again, although at the moment, desperate stuff as Miramar try and edge their way back down. Niggly as all hell for Petone. This Miramar side, who are a different side to the Miramar side they were on in the first half.
Barton Ginger commits a foul on Billy Chick, and Petone will earn the ball back. And some good movement from Miramar. A bit of a swing change here, Paddy.
Yes, Petone looking all at sea in some senses, like they've sailed out into the Wellington Harbour. But what they essentially need to do is build some sort of bridge into the other half, maybe a bit like Petone Wharf. Just branch out into the other half, much like Petone Wharf does into the harbour, and stay there like the Wharf does. Just stay there like the Petone Wharf. That would be my message. Look.
And Miramar trying to catch Oscar Boyce off his line. A fantastic effort from the Miramar forward. I'm trying to figure out who that is.
And Oscar Boyce punching the ball over the top. Oscar Boyce jumping so high, I thought he was headed to Mangaraki or Korokoro, the way the young man jumped, and he sent the ball pretty much over the Western Hills there as well. A fantastic sight to see. Boise, the goalkeeper, with the big leap.
And an attacking corner for Miramar as a header goes towards the goal, but twice in fact. Both times defended by Petone. Now a third ball in as it falls to the back post, and fantastic stop from the number 3. That's Sean Matthews at the near post for Petone. Jeepers, that could be important as the game progresses, Paddy.
Sean Matthews, the man they call Grandad, showing that defensive maturity of a grandfather at the back there. Old grandfather time as the corner is taken. And again, Boyce, Oscar Boyce, just safe as all hell at the moment. Safe as a Petone Villa in an earthquake. In a serious earthquake as well. We know that those villas will all keep standing, as does Petone's defence.
Here comes Mustafa. Plays it back to Billy Chick. He plays it inside. Brazier gets into a bit of a tussle with the number 12, Andrew Bevan, the 2-time goal scorer of this fixture. And a quick free kick taken, but well gathered by Petone as they look to move forward now with the Jared Eglinton. And gets tied up in a free kick. It's Matthew Brazier on the ground, and a yellow card for the young man for Miramar.
And a chance to say that the yellow card, the same colour as the yellow of Ray White, and of course our sponsor Des Smith, the number 1 salesperson for Ray White. That yellow sign, just like the yellow card. Thank you, Des, for all your support to Petone football.
Can we just talk about the segues coming from Paddy today? Fantastic on his debut in sports commentary. As it finds its way all the way back to the Miramar goalkeeper, Jack de Groot. He passes it to his right back to the centre back, Liam Wood. Miramar 1 goal deficit all of a sudden. Their eyes will be a bit brighter after the halftime. It is possible, maybe. It is possible. They can salvage something from this game. 4th on the table. As now we're on the right side, Andrew Bevan, the goal scorer. He plays it inside, but it's well gathered by Oscar Boyce. He gets low to the ground and gathers that one. And he'll look to take his time and recompose this Petone team. To get some passes together, get some position together, and play the ball in the attacking half again, as any team would, really. Here it is now. Number 16, Jared Eglinton. He looks wide for Jack O'Connor, who really does run his heart out, but ends up giving away a goal kick.
And all sorts happening here at Petone Memorial Park. This young side, and hang on, a yellow card. A yellow card issued there. A yellow card issued there. A yellow card issued there. A yellow card issued there, and some of the crowd, obviously a member of Miramar's coaching box, losing some self-control there. But I have to say, some of the Petone crowd losing some self-control as well. And apologies to anyone listening on the live stream for some of the language there that came from the crowd here in the box. It's a high-stakes game. Emotions are running high, and I think anyone can accept that perhaps some of the words used there were not savoury in a family context, but they are language that is used. Yeah. But things are heating up here under the lights at Petone Memorial Park. 3-2 over Miramar. Desperate for a victory. A draw will not suffice. And Miramar now on the move. Miramar on the move.
Brought forward. It's now at the feet of Barton Ginger, but he can't beat Billy Check. Miramar throwing on the near side here. Searle to get a long throw in, it seems. Here he is. And Boyce looks to get a fist on it, but I'll tell you what, he just does enough as it's cleared to the 18-yard box. And it comes off the woodwork of a shot from, that's Jonty Rubos. A fantastic effort from the youngster. He must have been 25 yards out. A left foot effort hitting the right upright. The scores remain at 3-2 to Petone, with Miramar really on the forward press here. Looking to tidy up the mess, and it is well dealt with by Sinclair and Boyce.
And Eglinton just hammering it away there. And for those locals, getting it downtown, really down the industrial end of Petone towards Seaview. And a head clash there, a serious head clash. The ref blowing that up, and both players on the ground at the moment. A little worry for everybody, and a chance now just for both sides to take a breather and check on the welfare of these players. And isn't it fantastic to see how serious head knocks are taken in this day and age? Every aspect of this will be checked for the health and welfare of the players, and that's a fantastic development down the years. Certainly would not have been that way 125 years ago. We know so much more about concussion and the science around it, and we're grateful for that. The progress that's been made in the game has just been fantastic.
Yep, the progressions in the game has definitely been seen in that regard, with extra substitutions being allowed for head knocks in the Premier League and the recent World Cup.
And the 29-year-old Samuel Pickering, one of the most experienced players out on the park, if not the most experienced there, just holding a team talk with a young side. Very important to remember that Petone regularly play up to 10 under-20 players in this side. Second only to the Wellington Phoenix in the New Zealand National League. It shows the club is certainly doing its bit in terms of commitment to youth development, but all the more reason for the leadership of Samuel Pickering out there. Cool heads. Nobody wants to walk off that field a winner more than Sam Pickering right now. It looks like the Miramar player having to leave the field after that head clash as well. And he'd been playing fantastically well too. Looks like the number 7 about to come on, Ryan Lawrence. Coming back onto the field after Samuel Mason Smith had come off after that head knock, number 4.
Substitution for Miramar, number 24, John T. Rubos.
And John T. Rubos just having a fantastic game as well. Very sad for the young man to come off. Rubos, who had been involved in a lot for Miramar there, coming off after this head knock. And the referee there blowing things up. What's he looking for? And now, who was that sent from the coach's box? Was that the coach of that side, or the assistant coach that was forced to leave the field?
It definitely wasn't the head coach. The head coach has had the black cap. He's been out the front of their coaching box all day. I believe it was the assistant coach, Paddy, and he did choose to leave the field after being dished out a yellow card.
And is that looks to be Cale Herbert down there in the coaching box, is it, for Miramar? Football in royalty, if it is, of course, the son of Ricky Herbert, great New Zealand player and coach.
Substitution for Petone FC. It's Oliver Pickering. Yet another Pickering coming on for number 10. Number 11, sorry, Scott Greenfield coming off for Petone.
Ollie Pickering on the park now. Ollie Pickering, known as OP. Obviously standing the O for Ollie and the P for Pickering. Just loves his football and apparently loves blasting out a winning song after a win. And he'll be hoping that he can do that off his Spotify in the changing rooms in just a few short minutes as the clock starts to tick down for Petone over Miramar.
The sun slowly setting over Memorial Park. Golden hour.
It is the golden hour here in Petone. Often an evening like this, just where the gold starts to strike, and
there it is, the equalizer for Miramar, number 14. It's Samuel Mason Smith. The equalizer for Miramar. My goodness me, this game has turned on its head in the last 15 minutes.
It has been all Miramar, and Miramar taking no heed of the history here for Petone, taking no care whatsoever about what Petone is going through and saying, if we have to break your blue hearts today, we will. We don't mind. A win is a win. It's your history, not ours. And Miramar now back and bringing the game level.
You know, it was a pretty soft cross in, and there was definitely time for one of the men in blue to try and put Mason Smith off. I don't know. He had a free header. It was a loopy one, and he did what he needed to do for his side, and that is to put the ball in the back of the net from about 6 yards. So here we go. 15 minutes remaining in regular time. Maybe another 5 added on with this referee. Scores are level. Golden hour. Paddy Gower.
The golden hour is here, that's for sure. But it's a time not to rely on the beautiful weather that's around us, but for the Petone Football Club first men's team to step up and say, we want to own this hour, we want to be part of it, we want to dominate it and find a way to shut Miramar out of this game. How many minutes do we have left? how many minutes do we have left on the clock, Connor Bliss?
We're looking at 15 left. Yep. As we look at the clock, with additional time from the referee after that.
15 minutes for someone from Petone to become a club hero. 15 minutes for one of these 11 men in blue to step up and say, I want to be part of the history books forever with a goal that puts us out to 4-3. 15 minutes to believe in Petone ball. 15 minutes to bring glory to this club that is 125 years old.
Can it start with some Oscar Boyce distribution as he rolls it out to Sam Pickering as captain. Billy Check.
And Miramar becoming increasingly physical, the game becoming increasingly physical, and some desperation coming into it from Petone, who really will want to win here. A draw, of course, will be good enough. Miramar will be very happy to head back down the motorway and into town with 1 point from a draw and having staved off a famous victory here. But Petone, with the history there, just changing the calculations a little bit, Connor Bliss, changing the calculations. The players will want a win. A draw is not enough on the eve of the 125-year anniversary, that is for sure.
No, everyone up here in the balcony of the John Bradbury Lounge are definitely looking for the 3 points, as, my goodness, Brazier with a bit of twinkle toes.
And Brazier, just outstanding, as with footwork like we've never seen. But hang on, an interesting decision. Some would say unbelievable, others would say interesting. Very interesting decision as that yellow card comes out. What for would be the question that many people up here in the John Bradbury Lounge are asking. What was that yellow card for? And the other question on my mind was why? And what are you doing? A number of questions, actually, about 5 or 6. Yeah, about 5 or 6 questions. Mass confusion about the yellow card.
It was
questions everywhere.
Andrew Bevan who hit the deck for Miramar. And it was Matthew Brazier picking up the yellow card. He scored a couple goals today and a yellow card for his troubles.
And, of course, a clarification there, the referee. We always support the referee. We would never criticise, but we do ask questions. We do ask questions, open-ended questions. Open-ended questions.
Here we go now, Bevan. Back to Searle. Recycles now to Liam Wood, who moves it more to the right side with Whitworth. Now coming back to the left side, it's Miramar and Barton Ginger. He goes right, he goes left, he hits with his left, and it's a good save from Oscar Boyce at his near post.
And we have to give a shout out to Sebastian or Seb Barton Ginger. Fantastic play by the number 10 today. Involved in everything, at least 2 assists, and a challenge there. And I think you can see the yellow card is out, and no questions from anybody in Petone that deserved to come out this time around. Luke Searle facing a yellow card there. He got one last week as well, so that's 2 yellows in 2 weeks for Luke Searle. Now those are questions from Miramar about his discipline, but no questions here about why that yellow card was issued against him now. The only questions are, is there enough time on the clock for Petone to claw back a win here?
Couple of subs for Miramar. We've got Andrew Bevan and Gartagamam coming off for Manuel. And Manuel, unbelievable, folks. We have Riley Manuel and Tyan Manuel subbing on for Miramar.
The 2 Manuels coming on to the field, trying to Manuel their way to victory, or Manuel their way to a draw. And a shout out now to Marty Tonks, a great Petone man, a great club man. Marty Tonks, thank you for your support, Marty. Nice to hear you down there in Nelson. And amazing, isn't it, that the support for this team crossing the Cook Strait and into the mighty South Island, Incredible club man, of course, Marty.
Miramar now with a forward pass, but can't beat Eglinton. Oh, sorry, Oliver Pickering in the middle there as he passes to his relative. In the midfield, here he is now, Oliver Pickering. He plays it inside to Eglinton, who spreads it to the right side. And O'Connor now for Petone. He cuts inside. He's got Billy Chick on his right, but he plays it inside to Oliver Pickering. He looks to move it to the left side, where some twinkle toes from the left winger. Oliver Pickering now, can he dish a ball into the back post? But it's well collected by Jack Groot. Jack de Groot now looks to distribute for Miramar. This is a tight game, folks. 10 minutes to go.
Petone have come alive again down the other end. 10 minutes to go. 10 minutes to make history. 10 minutes for the men in blue to go blue like the sky and gold like the hour and bring home a victory on the eve of 125 years. The ball needs to come back, though, for the famous Petone ball to be played. They need to have the ball. Miramar not wanted to give it up. And now the goal open and the blue wall of defence saying, you will not come in here. Petone is closed to people from Miramar right now was essentially the message from the bouncer on the door of the Petone goal. At that point there, do not come in here. If you're from Miramar, show me your ID. Unless you are from Petone, you will not march in here. It was a simple message from Oscar, the bouncer come goalkeeper.
Edge of the steep stuff as the ball's played back by Luke Searle to his keeper, and it's cleared. Petone now with the ball on their halfway as they move it round the back line. Sinclair, Eglinton. Back to Boyce. My goodness me, he's got surrounded by a couple of players, and have you seen that before? Oscar Boyce off his line by 30 yards with 3 defenders around him, and you've got to give it to him. He's done really well to keep it in a safe space for Petone. He clears his lines and gets back between his sticks, and here's Liam Wood, Searle, who dishes that one in. Sean Matthews clears his lines, and it's a corner for Miramar.
Did not look good. That little nudge there did not look good from this angle up here in the clubhouse, and it was a cool breeze like a August morning with a frost in Petone. That's how cold it was up here, but things have warmed up a little considering it didn't go in, and the corner now. Miramar driven away. Petone
it's with Harris
pushing it out yet again, and it's time now. The Petone defense just stealing, and there it is. It's away again, and here comes Petone on the drive. Time now to lift.
Billy Chick does some defending for Petone with that defensive header, and Petone throwing now. Billy Chick to toss this one in, back into play. He looks to go down the wing.
And a shout out there to Granny Bliss. Granny Bliss up in Palmerston North. Great to have Granny Bliss on the line. The Bliss family, of course, heavily involved in this club. Bliss people everywhere. And mention of Bliss. Time for Blue Bliss. The Blue Bliss of victory. And Ashnavi Mustafa. There it is. Mustafa just moving it around. And there it is. There it is. No. A fantastic strike. Petone are not finished. Petone are not finished by any stretch of the imagination. And 4-3 is the score that is wanted here on the eve of history. And they are asking serious questions of Miramar. The call, come on blue. As straightforward as that. That's what's needed, a blue goal. And here we come, a blue corner. Ooh.
Jack de Groot gets his hands on that one. Across from the captain himself, Sam Pickering. Too close to the man in green. Now Miramar looking to go forward. Here they come through the midfield. And Petone now moving forward. Billy Check. Given away now with Barton Ginger. And he gets his team a throw-in.
And a shout out to Matthew Brazier, working hard there, getting a good view of him here in front of the John Bradbury Lounge. Just a fantastic game by Brazier, working so hard. Hard working, like the workers of Petone. A steel mill or a factory in himself, isn't he, Matthew Brazier?
Great defensive work there from the Petone winger, Mustafa. But given away from Petone as a cross ball in. Sinclair does the defensive work, but it's given up. And Miramar have a chance. What a save from the Petone keeper, Oscar Boyce, to keep his team in it. It is 3-3. What a save, folks. Fantastic save.
Oscar Boyce just said no. N-O to Miramar. Said, no, you will not take an upset victory on this day of history. Oscar Boyce saying go away, essentially, and locking it down. It was just a very simple go away, get out of here, Miramar. And thank you, Oscar Boyce. The hearts of Petone are with you.
Fantastic positioning from Samuel Mason-Smith, the man from Great Britain, the import from Miramar, but he just couldn't quite find the corners as Miramar once again have an effort down the right side, but again it's Oscar Boyce. He's up for the challenge every time. He's been asked a question in the last 5 minutes. He's been up for the challenge. That was number 7 for Miramar. It was Ryan Lawrence with that effort. He kept it low, but Oscar Boyce, fantastic bit of goalkeeping from him. Can he keep it up? We've got 4 minutes left on the clock. It's the man of the moment. Rolls it out to his centre back. Samuel Pickering, he finds Oliver Pickering. Into the youngster. Cameron Healy. Change of position now. Mason Smith does it wide for Miramar. A ball inside from the right side. And it only finds Brazier for Petone. Got to be the man of the match. But that is up to you. Man of the match. Your vote. Paddy Gower, what's the number?
Yes, and supporters man of the match, done by vote. An amazing innovation here by Petone. Actually, you can text the club chair himself, 021 718 592. 021 718 592. Now, how many clubs in the country would let you text the club chair directly to give you a vote for man of the match? Not many. Not many, and his wife is apparently not happy about him giving his number out that. But this is a club where supporters come first. And a strike! And a strike! An incredible strike. Oliver Pickering, and he would almost definitely have got my vote for man of the match if that had gone in. Ollie Pickering.
There's Billy Check, who plays it forward. Eglington, but he loses out. A great ball from Mason Smith to release the right winger for Miramar. Can they snatch this fixture? But the shot is deflected wide. The shot from the number 2, Riley Manuel, the substitute, couldn't tuck it away.
And time ticking down, Connor Bliss. Time ticking down as the sun starts to set behind the Western Hills. And we lose the light. The time just ticks down for Petone. Of course, the match is drawn. The match is drawn. They need to hold out. They cannot walk away with a loss on this auspicious day. But mostly they want to win. They want a victory. They want history to be remembered with a victory for the men's side.
Barton Ginger with the shot there. That was met with the chest of a Petone defender. Out for a throw-in now for Miramar. And that one's played wide by Riley Manuel. And Harris, the right back, gets a shot off, but only met with Sinclair and his left foot. Petone centre back, and recycled now by Miramar. As the final 10 seconds comes across, as it comes into the midst of Oscar Boyce for Petone. One more chance, maybe.
One more chance for Petone as they drive upfield. Jack O'Connor driving upfield, holding the ball. Here's Petone's chance into injury time now. They have to move the ball. They have to get uptown and just shift it up as Oscar Boyce moves it up there. Miramar take the ball though. This is a concern. This is a worry for Petone supporters.
Number 10, Barton Ginger. He squares it back up for Miramar, but no good. Jack O'Connor for Petone in the final moments of this game. And Eglinton caught out on the halfway line. Cameron Healy, sorry. As here we go, number 23 for Petone, Brazier moves it forward. Brazier gets it back and does a 1-2 with his left winger, who does fantastically. And a penalty has been awarded to Petone in injury time. A fantastic run down the left side from Ashtanavi Mustafa. And the man in pink has pointed to the spot as he went to ground, entering the 18-yard box. Petone will have a chance to win this game in the final kick of the game from 12 yards.
Well, Ashnavi Mustafa has been dangerous all day, and he suddenly moved down the left. Miramar giving away a crucial penalty, and we now move to one of the most crucial penalty kicks seen on Memorial Park.
It'll be the captain. It'll be Samuel Pickering over the ball as he grabs this game by the scruff of the neck, pins it up against the wall and says, "You want chum? I'll give it ya." He's got one chance. My goodness me, it's a change of penalty kicker. We've got number 4. It's Bryn Sinclair, folks. Bryn Sinclair.
Bryn Sinclair chasing history on the eve of Petone's 125-year anniversary. 3-3 in injury time. Bryn Sinclair now saying, is it time for a blue surge? Is it time for blue history? As Sinclair moves in, and it's there! And it's there! And it's there! Bryn Sinclair has made history for Petone, surely. Bryn Sinclair has made history, potentially for Petone, putting them out to 4-3.
A fantastic penalty taken by Bryn Sinclair. He goes low and left. The keeper goes to his left, sends him the wrong way, and Paddy Gower, it's 4-3 to Petone.
Low and left from Bryn Sinclair. Petone blue all the way. A blue goal by Bryn Sinclair. Low and left. The goalkeeper went the other way. The floodlights are on. Petone is on the brink of history as the sun sets over the Hutt Valley. Petone calling for history, demanding history. A 4-3 victory on the cards. Come on, you Blues.
The penalty scored at the merged communications end. As Petone win the ball back and a forward, really strategic football play there from the substitute Jared Eglinton. He forces the keeper to come out of his box and collect it from Miramar. And a scrappy forward ball.
Now it is time for cool heads from the young men of Petone. Just time to stay calm. Samuel Pickering, interesting there, handing the shot away. And I've just been told there's 4 minutes to go. There's 4 minutes played. Yeah, we're not sure. We're not sure. We're not sure how long to
Miramar
go.
Down the
there
left
can't
side.
Be much. There can't be much time left. Hard to commentate when your heart is beating like it is at the moment. But at least 4 or 5 minutes of extra time has been played. There can't be long, but Miramar are down the end that we don't want them. Miramar camped out now. There cannot be long left. Petone.
Luke Searle throws this one in deep, looking for the front post. Petone looking to scramble this one out as a snapshot's taken by Barden Ginger. But defended by Petone.
Petone getting it out. The goalkeeper deep. This is it, really.
Well, folks,
Well,
I
you
mean,
would have heard
you
some-
can't really describe that one, Paddy.
You would have heard some bad language there. But no, it was a word. There was only one way to describe it, and that word beginning with F and ending with K was the only one. There was no other word.
Paddy, this is fucking football.
This is fucking Petone at the moment. This is fucking Petone right now. Now, the call is just to get it out. There it is. Oscar Boyce. Oscar Boyce all day long. Oscar Boyce all day long. Just says Oscar Boyce saying, I want this game to be Petone's. It is that simple.
A free kick given away by Matthew Brazier on the halfway line. And a yellow card for, must have been some words from Jared Eglinton. And Miramar have a free kick now. It's got to be seconds to go.
7 minutes of extra time have been played. And it's time.
Oh, Oscar
And
Boyce.
Oscar Boyce. Oscar Boyce again and again standing up and being counted on behalf of Petone. Standing up and being counted for 125
It's
years of
courageous
history.
stuff from Petone. And there it is, full time here at Memorial Park. As Oscar Boyce, Sam Pickering and the Men in Blue get 3 points on the 125th anniversary of the club. Paddy Gower, what are your thoughts on that, mate?
It's a great day to be from Petone. 125 years of history. And the crowd just erupting.
Fantastic stuff. And what a day to have Patrick Gower and a full balcony here at Memorial Park.
An incredible victory. The crowd singing, if you knew your history. Well, the history is this. 125 years of Petone football. 125 fantastic years and a 4-3 victory over Miramar to bring in 125 years. What a moment to be blue. What a day to be blue. What a fantastic day to be from Petone.
Couldn't said it better myself. Patrick Gower, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for joining us here at Petone FC TV for this coverage of Central League football. Final thanks to our sponsors, our game day sponsors, Spriggan and Fern Petone and Des Smith Ray White Petone. Text in your man of the match to 021 718 592. Again, Petone, thank you so much, Patrick Gower, for coming today and commentating as our guest commentator. We maybe hopefully get you back for one more game this season. We'll see how that goes, but we've very much appreciated you coming here today, and yeah.
Thank you, Connor, for having me here. Great to be part of this community occasion. An amazing day to be from Petone. An amazing day to support this great club and this great community. And it'll be a late night tonight at our club sponsors, the Spring and Fern, that is for sure. But Des Smith will no doubt be up early in the morning for a few open homes, another great sponsor as well. So don't you worry about that, and a great day to commentate on the Boys in Blue.
Thanks for joining us, and see you next time here at Memorial Park. Ciao for now.